Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Jerry.
I'm Ryan.
Welcome to the weekly Churn. We're going to be talking about the stuff going on this week in the news. We'll do our best. We're not newscasters. We know that, but this is a way for us to kind of talk about some of the big stories in a shorter format.
Just things that we've heard about. And so this week, I heard about, just the other day actually, probably 2 days ago now, I heard about Obama's putting sanctions on the old Ruskies there. He's basically saying, get out. You're no longer welcome. And he's got all of 3 weeks left, and he's making a big old fuss and a stink. And it seems like just a political backstabby kind of move, in my opinion. I mean, that's all this is, anyways.
It is all about our opinions. I kind of felt like if you know who the spies are, were you just like...
These are diplomats, but he says that they were involved in espionage or something.
Well, sure,
like
it's like calling them spies, right? So if you know a guy's a spy, and they know your guy's a spy, and you kind of just like watch each other's spies...
Well, yeah.
Are they still spies, or are they just guys that you're watching while the real spies are out? I don't know how many levels of...
This is red team versus blue team, and it's... We're saying we know you, and you know we know you, but
you don't know what we don't know. So I just kind of feel with all this stuff of the hacking and everything, like whoever's responsible, the intelligence agencies say it the Russians, is responsible, but like sending them a angry letter. Doesn't change anything about what happened.
Well, it's already the allegation that it happened in the first place. You've got uncorroborated evidence through several different sources, people saying, this is what happened, this is what we're going to do about it, and this is our recommendation. And you got Trump sitting here going, somebody's going to talk to me about this later this week. I'm busy.
It's
I've got stuff going on.
Yeah, it feels so strange. I just don't understand, and I heard this, and I know this happens on both sides of the political aisle, and I don't want to get too deep into it, but I just know it's like whoever's saying that the people are bad automatically gets to be right if they're in charge.
If you have
by half the country, and the other half of the country says they're full of it. Right. Like when the Russians were bad in the 80s, everybody thought the Russians were bad, except the people who were saying we need to have peace with the communists.
Yeah,
and then the people who were communists who became advanced progressive Democrats, and I'm not criticizing their philosophy, I'm saying like that was a natural transition, are now saying that the Russians are bad. Mm-hmm. And you've got the guys who were saying the Russians are bad, we should nuke them, now saying the Russians aren't that bad. And it's not been that long.
I think
they're still people. They're just people, right?
There's no definitive bad guy, I think, is the problem. Like, they want to call him Putin. They want to say it's the independent spies. They want to say it's Trump was in collusion. They want to say it's separate sources. As like you've got Snowden out there leaking stuff. You got Assange saying we got the docs from this guy over here, not that guy over there, and they're saying no, it was definitely from that guy.
It's just hard. It's too much.
When they premise it with, we believe the Russians interfered with our election to disparage Hillary and get Donald elected through no confidence with the Democratic Party. We only hacked the Democratic Party to show off all the bad news that they were covering up and not letting us know, and then complain about it after the fact.
It's so frustrating, though, because the way that Bernie Sanders was treated by his own party was the majority of those emails. Mm-hmm. And no one is questioning whether or not they really did that to Bernie Sanders. Like, that's the allegation is, did you guys collude to force Bernie Sanders out of the race?
No.
Inside the Democrat... Well, no, it's just the Russians are bad.
Found our information is leaking it. That's the real story.
That's not the real story. The real story is, what did you do to Bernie Sanders? All right, so that's the Russians. What else, like, newsworthy for me, was that, gosh, well, the big story, I guess, was kind of all of the people who passed away this year. There was all the musical people. You know, Prince passes away, and Carrie Fisher, the actress, passes away just on Christmas, and then her mom passes away the next day. And while I've always felt like it's hard, I have a hard time understanding how, as a person who has no relationship to famous movie stars or musicians, how you can feel so emotionally attached to their passing.
I think it's
I still
attachment
get
to the
it.
characters more than anything. Like, I remember that character made me laugh, or I remember her as this person. Like, I remember her as Leia and a couple of guest spots on some comedy movies, you know, where she played a nun in one movie and some other stuff. But I don't recall her having that much of a role in my life. Like, I never had a Leia poster, you know, like, ooh, braids, they really do it for me, or anything like that. There was nothing like that. And so I don't have a connection to that individual in anything other than a passing.
It's a
People
tragedy.
die.
It's a tragedy any time someone loses their life, who's by all accounts a decent human. It's a tragedy.
But it's not about whether or not you're a human. It's not about whether or not you're a beloved pet.
Well, if you're a scumbag,
Death-
nobody cares if you die.
People still bring it up though and say the reason that this person died wasn't because of natural causes. It was because they committed a crime and we have a death penalty, down with the death penalty, or something like that. What I'm saying is, my general regard for life is strong. If I
I
saw
agree with
somebody in peril, I think that I would act. If I saw somebody choking, I'd do the Heimlich. So sorry, he's gone too. You know, the Heimlich guy, he's dead. He didn't die by choking, but he's dead. But he invented something, a life-saving thing, and that's saved a lot of lives. But I don't think that each of us individually should be held in such a high regard that when we die, people should, like, you might miss the person. Like, I'm going to miss anyone that I've known in my life who's died. But I think that the hope would be that we get over it in a sense and continue to live our lives, because we do have a finite amount of time here, and we need to really take that time to not just be an impression, not make impressions on people, but really just live for ourselves and live the best life possible, so that when we do die, you know, it's like, hey, you know, if you have some memories to go off of me, I want them to be good memories, you know, shooting videos and having fun with my kids.
Yep.
And you know, spending time with my wife and seeing everybody else in my life have a good time around me, as opposed to me being like the you know, scary drunk uncle or something like that, who just shows up out of the blue like, hey guys, let's party out here in the snow. Like, you're not wearing any clothes, uncle. Like, you need to go away.
This is a nightmare scenario.
It hasn't happened, but you know,
So-
it's not why I'm quitting drinking. That's just a thing that I'm doing for myself.
So we are going to talk a little bit more about the new year, and I know that's the big topic this week as well. Check us out in our other video where we're going to do a longer format on Two Brothers Off Script. And for the Churn this week, I'm Jerry.
I'm Ryan. But if you're missing our other videos, it's because we got flagged somehow as being inappropriate or something on our playlist of Two Brothers Off Script. So we'll get that sorted out. We're in the appeals process now. I guess, you know, we got to go before the High Court of Community Awareness and tell them we don't mean any harm, I guess.
I suppose so. I'm not sure what we did that was inappropriate.
But this is our new gig. We're gonna try and do this every week, and we'll just, you know, keep churning them out. So this is the weekly Churn. Again, I'm Ryan.
I'm Jerry. Thanks for watching.
See ya.